Negative Nease coming to you from the Section YY8 studios. It is Friday, March 15th. Just got through watching the Volunteers. Let's not sugarcoat it here. They got dominated by Mississippi State in the SEC tournament quarterfinals in Nashville. Tennessee loses 73-56. Just an all-around. I'm just going to dive right into it. An all-around pathetic performance from Tennessee. They were never in this game. I would say even from the tip-off, they were never in this game. It was just not what Tennessee fans, not what I was expecting out of this team. This is not the Tennessee basketball team that we've seen all year long that went 14-4 in the toughest conference in America, was in contention for a number one seed, was in contention to, make their best path ever in the NCAA tournament, and that has all gone away within the past two games. And it's a concerning trend too, the past two games that we'll get into, but all that's out the window. Tennessee, like I said, loses. They're going back to Knoxville from Nashville. Now they've got to find a way to reset and get their act together and move forward toward the ultimate goal. I said this on the show last week. The ultimate goal for Tennessee is to get to the Final Four and to compete for a national title. Now, I know for a lot of you all, after watching today's performance, that's a pipe dream. It's not going to happen. And I'll be honest, my faith is a little shaken in this team right now, especially after the last two games. But this team has all the potential in the world. They've got all the talent in the world. They've got senior leadership. They've got guards that can score, that can shoot. They've got a superstar in Dalton Connect that can score at will. But that didn't happen today against Mississippi State. And this is two games in a row against Mississippi State that they've played like this. And I don't know if it's a bad matchup. There's some kind of mental block against this team. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But we'll talk about that as we go on. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for today. Tennessee was led in scoring by Zakai Ziegler with 20 points. That sounds great and all, but for the first, I would say 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes of the game, Zakai Ziegler sucked. Zakai Ziegler sucked. He's got me tongue-tied. He was absolutely terrible. At one point in the game, he was 0 for 7 from 3. He had 1 assist and 4 turnovers. Your guard, who is an all-SEC guard, defensive player of the year, can't play like that. You can't play like that if you want to win in March. Guard play wins basketball games in March, and Zakai Ziegler playing like that is not going to win any games in March for the Tennessee Volunteers. Now, he ended the game on a hot streak. He ended up 4 for 12 from three-point range, 20 points. He only had 2 assists on 4 turnovers. Not going to cut it. The other big story on the offensive end was Dalton Connect. 14 points, 2 of 9 from three-point range, 4 of 17 from the field. Mississippi State did a really good job of harassing him, double-teaming him. But this is where other guys on this team have to step up and make shots. And the last 2 games, they have not done that. Tennessee has not done what they've needed to do to help out Dalton Connect. Where is Santiago Vescovi? 1 of 6 from the field, 0 of 4 from three-point range. Where is Triple J? 0 of 5 from the field, 0 of 3 from three-point range. Where's Jordan Gainey? 1 of 3 from the field, 1 of 3, all 3 shots were three-pointers. Jonas Adu had a pitiful game, 5 points, 2 of 6 from the field. He missed 2 layups. This was in 26 minutes. Tobe Awaka had another pitiful. Let's just be honest, the whole team had a pitiful game. Again, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's something with Mississippi State that's got this team bumfuddled. I don't know. I mean, Mississippi State, they played a physical game against Tennessee, and it really bothered not just our post players. A lot of people want to talk all the time that our post players are weak. The whole team was weak today. How many turnovers did we have out on the perimeter? Just throwing the ball away or getting stripped. It wasn't just Adu and Awaka. It was the entire team that was out on the court today. Just a terrible performance. Tennessee had 33 rebounds to Mississippi State's 31, so they beat them on the glass, but it didn't matter because we couldn't make any shots. Tennessee finished the game 2 of 18 in the first half from 3, 6 of 15 in the second half, 8 of 33 from three-point range, 24%. This is a team that, yes, makes 8 or 9 threes a game, but they shoot nearly 34% from three-point range. They shot 24% today. Tennessee from the field as a total, 19 of 62, 30.6% from the field. That's not going to win you any games in March. And it's not like all of their shots were contested. How many wide open shots did these guys miss all day long? And in comparison, you look at Mississippi State. For the game from the field, they shot 55%. In the first half, they shot 61%. And they were only 4 of 13 from three-point range. They had a lot of looks around the glass. I know that's part of it, but just overall, let's just say what it is, a terrible performance by the Tennessee Volunteers. Now, I said on last week's show that I wasn't going to get upset if Tennessee lost in the SEC tournament, because when you look at the numbers, teams that advance deep into their conference tournaments and even win it, a lot of times don't do very well in the big dance. So I wasn't going to be too upset if Tennessee didn't advance or didn't win the SEC tournament. But it's the way they played today, and it's the way they played the last 2 games that I'm a little concerned right now. And the one thing I'm a little concerned about is how slow they're coming out of the gates on the offensive end. I mean, today in the first half, like I said, they shot 7 of 34 from the field, 2 of 18 from three-point range. That's terrible. But they did the same thing against Kentucky on last Saturday. In the first half against Kentucky, they were 13 of 34 from the field, 6 of 15 from three-point range. So 2 incredibly slow starts. And let's just be honest, today's slow start against Mississippi State was way worse than the slow start against Kentucky. But when you come out slow and you miss open shots and you turn the ball over and you allow teams to gain confidence and stick around, this is the stuff that happens, especially this time of year. And with the way college basketball is right now, you cannot take teams like this for granted. And when you come out and play like this, they'll beat you. And that's what happened today to Tennessee. So Tennessee's going to go home to Knoxville. They're going to get the weekend off. They got to regroup. They got to find something. One thing, if I was Rick Barnes, and I'm not, I don't have 800 and whatever wins. I don't have 199 wins at UT. But one thing I would do if I was Rick Barnes is take a long, hard look at Santiago Vescovi. He does some great things on the defensive end, but he is killing Tennessee on the offensive end of the floor right now. He can't make a shot to save his life. And he goes in the lane and he either gets pushed around or he gets a ball swatted out of bounds. He's not bringing anything to the offensive end for Tennessee right now. And it's really sad because this guy has been a solid contributor for the Tennessee Vols for the past 4 years. And I don't know what's happened to his shot on the offensive end, but he missed 2 or 3 wide open threes against Mississippi State today that a shooter with his skill level should make. At least a couple of them. I'm not saying he has to go 5 for 5 in wide open threes, but these are shots 2 years ago. This guy, he didn't miss in the SEC tournament. But the whole team as a whole today, how many wide open shots did they miss against Mississippi State? You can even go back to Saturday. How many wide open shots did they miss? At some point, basketball's simple. I say this all the time on the show. You've got to put the ball in the basket. You got to put it in the basket. And Tennessee, over the last 2 games, hasn't done that well enough. They're just not shooting the ball well enough to win games in March right now. But I do want to thank the Tennessee basketball team and Rick Barnes because they saved negative Nease here a bunch of money. Was planning on going to Nashville tomorrow if we won. Was going to stay all weekend until the Vols were eliminated. But now, don't have to worry about that. The only other time I may get to see Tennessee play this year is if they end up in Charlotte next weekend, and I don't know what days those games will be on. It'll either be Thursday, Saturday, or Friday, Sunday. We'll see. So Tennessee right now heading into and we'll talk more about this on our show on Sunday night, our Selection Sunday special that we've got coming up. Tennessee will head home. They're looking at being probably one of the top number 2 seeds in the NCAA tournament. If I had to guess, they're probably going to stay in the South region, which will probably be Houston as the 1 seed, which I don't like that matchup at all because we saw how Mississippi State plays physical, in-your-face defense. That's what Houston plays to probably a little bit better level. They're not great offensively, but we can't worry about Houston right now as the 2 seed. Tennessee wouldn't see them till the Elite Eight anyway. So we got other fish to fry right now. And so Tennessee will more than likely be a 2 seed in the South region. If I had to guess, they'll play their first couple games in Charlotte over at the Spectrum Center, home of the Charlotte Hornets. I've been there many times. Maybe I'll be back this weekend. We'll see. So be sure to check our show out. We'll be back Sunday night. I'll be joined by Harbin and the rest of the crew, hopefully, to break down where Tennessee's at in the bracket. I'll also be jumping on the Hoops Southbound podcast Sunday as soon as the selection show's over for a little bit to talk to them about Tennessee, what I think about Tennessee's draw. So I'll give them a little bit of the Tennessee perspective on their show. But appreciate everybody listening. Remember, you can find us wherever you get your podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Section YY8, and we're on all the social media channels. This is Negative Nease. This has been a special edition of the Section YY8 podcast.